Welcome back to Candela Obscura, everybody. This is RolePlay GrabBag and the Faint Divinities doing a little co-thing going on here. This is our second half of Candela Obscura. If you guys would remember, in the first half, we had a big flashback which happened 2 months ago before the theater that you guys were in, the Harlow Theater, burned to the ground. Before that, there was an event that took place on stage. Willow and John, this ward that you've taken in from Willow's sister Maggie, by the name of Oliver, played by Mo. He was dying, and he was watching your final performance. And Willow, you have a little bit of a supernatural sense to you as a medium, and you reached a little further than you've ever reached before, and you pulled something through, and whatever that energy was, you don't quite know exactly what it was, but it saved Oliver. If you say it or not, it saved Oliver. Oliver is still with us even 2 months later. He's made a full recovery. Larkin.
Yeah, it was the right choice. It was a good choice.
I think it was a choice. Larkin, we saw a little bit into your sin eating and how that works, as grotesque as it was that you described to us. And we got that in the middle, and John, kind of as the captain, I think, of the group or whatever, you let us in a little bit of your feelings of, that Oliver is kind of different. And you're you wouldn't say anything to Willow. You and Larkin have talked, that something seems off with him. And with that, you guys took this mission with Candela Obscura to find a missing girl named Harmony Thompson inside her last known whereabouts was the Mystic Cabaret. And you went in to investigate, and you ran into who you thought was deceased, a man named Bruno, who's now gone by Francis, who led you backstage and told you that Harmony was having a relationship with one of the acrobats, a small petite girl named Iris. And Iris was known to sleep in the basement. So, as investigators, you made your way down to the basement, and that's when things got a little wacky. You found her bedding and where she's been staying. You found some peculiar items around there. Larkin, you reached out and felt that something wasn't right here. That there was a lot of anger and whatnot in this, or a lot of bleed in this area just all around you. And Willow, you used your powers, your senses, to find out that there is something very angry here. And then you called upon it. And when we ended, you asked it a question about Harmony. About what hurt her. And it answered you that she's needs help. She's not gone yet. And then she asked you her question, which is a rhetorical one. Are you ready to perform?
I'm so scared.
And with that question, you've already taken the allotted damage or whatever, but I feel like this knocks you off your feet, and you fall down on your butt, and then everything in the room at once just stops vibrating, stops moving, whatever. And the soft flat that has the blood stain on it dislodges and falls off the wall, revealing a small hole in the masonry.
I limp over to her and sort of I go, Auntie, and I kind of try to help her up.
She's John, she's Larkin. Harmony's still alive, but I don't know how. I don't think we have much time.
Did you hear a voice, Auntie?
Yes. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What did it sound like? Was it angry? Was it sad?
I don't know. Not.
Make a for recall. Make a focus check, Willow.
Okay, well, now listen, I have nothing in focus, but as we've discovered, I can use drives.
Yeah, I was wrong in the first ask, everybody. If it's your personal drives, you can spend as many as you want, up to 66. But if you're assisting, you can only give 1. I was wrong on that. I owned it. We figured it out. So moving forward.
Can I assist on a recall? Since it's kind of like a memory thing instead of something that's
it's specifically her for this one. Sorry. So yeah, this is all on Willow.
Technical question though, because I'm using 2 drives so that I have 2 dice. Since I have 0 on front of it, it is just my drives, or am I still rolling the 2 and taking the lower? Do you see what I'm saying?
No. So if you don't have any points in it, if you spin a drive, then you have 1 point in it, so you would only roll 1 dice. If you're spinning 2 drives, you'd roll 2d6. Let me give you the
Fix.
The fix. Yeah. So if you roll a full 6, a full success will be. I'm going to give you something and something more. On a mixed success, you'll get it, but there will be obviously something attached to it. And then on fail is a fail.
Wanted, but at a cost.
Yes, a cost or
Right.
Yeah, it won't be like a. It's definitely, I would say, like. It's a lesser. I can't think of the word that I'm thinking of. Stakes. The stakes are low. It's not medium or high. You're not going to take damage from failing. You just will find the answer you want.
Can I want to know if I can help her by doing this. I want to coach her on how to remember details when you're under extreme stress and trauma. So essentially, it's I forget what they call it, like an emotional recall or whatever. So
okay,
it's like sense memory kind of thing. It's used in psychology and like police use it, stuff like that.
I'm down with that. I think if she obviously is the only person that heard the voice and spoke to this thing, so it's her role. But if you're helping her access more, then I will allow people to help if you're doing that.
So
You sold me,
Auntie. I want you to just concentrate on how it made you feel. I know that might be scary. How did it make you feel? What was your first instinct about it?
I'm going to. All right, so you're giving me 1 drive, yes? So 1
Correct.
additional drive? Okay. All right, great. Then I'm marking 2 of my drive. That gives me 3 dice to roll.
all right.
None of them gilded. But one of them is now a 6. So that is a full
success. Okay. Was it the gilded? No.
Well, I didn't have it gilded for this.
Oh,
one,
gotcha.
Because this
Okay.
is focus, no gild.
So on a full success, and the question you asked Oliver is if you recognize the voice. Is that what you asked?
I want to know what kind of voice it was. Like, what was the intent behind the voice? If she can remember the emotion or the feeling, instinctually, what does her gut tell her?
On a full success, though they were trying to mask their voice somewhat, you could tell that it was a female voice. I will say that it was a familiar female voice, but you can't quite place from where.
Was it Morgan?
Yes. Now that you said it, it was Morgan.
Oh no!
So you recognize Morgan's voice, and it was very angry and perturbed that you reached out the way you did, and you figured out something that they didn't want you to figure out yet.
Here, Auntie. I'm here. You're safe.
I'm gonna like look at Oliver just for a second. My like steely, nothing is different drops just for a second, and I like kind of. It was Morgan. Do you, y'all, everybody, Morgan from.
And I'll say also, I'll add with a full success, it was Morgan, but it was a little different.
Dark Morgan.
Evil Morgan.
Do we know?
Say that?
What's up?
Go ahead. Lucky.
Oh, Oliver, I think you first.
He's back now. I just was gonna say, when she says it's Morgan, I look at John, and I just go, was it Morgan who sent Bruno to watch Oliver, and then Oliver got brought out to the stage?
I think you're right.
While you guys are discussing this, you hear noise from the hole. It almost sounds like a whimpering, like a very low voice, like a voice that's in pain.
I was just gonna ask, have we assumed up to this point, or maybe it's true, did Morgan get caught in the fire, or she was like Bruno?
Morgan was one of the two people that were allegedly dead in the fire. Morgan and Bruno.
Okay.
So you hear
said there was a hole, right?
Yeah, there's a small hole, and from within the hole you can hear something like someone's stirring, like waking up, and you can hear some groans. Where am I? Hello? And you hear a female voice calling out from inside the hole.
I'll go over and reach my hand down to the hole and kind of see if I can.
You just feel dirt and rock and gravel back there. You don't purchase anything. It sounds like when you get closer, it echoes down this hole. You feel that this voice is probably further away.
Size of hole. Human size
Yeah.
hole?
Spelunky.
Ollie size.
Is it a spelunkable?
Can we go in the hole?
Out of
For skinny people, for children.
out of the four of you, Oliver is the only one that could fit in the hole.
No.
Yeah, the moral dilemma.
That's what I'm here for.
Right.
Hello?
I want to just call into the hole. Hello? Hello?
Who's there? It's dark.
What? We're here to help. We can help. Who?
Where am I?
What's? We don't know. Who are you? Who are you?
My name's Harmony.
I look around to everybody.
I was
From my. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
somebody. I was attacked. I don't know where I am.
What do you see?
It's dark. I can't see much. I think my leg is broken. It's caught on something.
I'm wearing like a jacket over my like waistcoat, and like a little tie. Like I'm pretty formally dressed. I take off the waistcoat and I roll up my sleeves, and then I take out of my pocket a small device. This is my small mundane invention.
Okay.
And it is a what to us would be an electric flashlight.
Okay.
Whoa. Dang.
You have a torch.
What
Torch
the
light.
fuck?
Yeah. Torch light.
Which is like electricity is in this world. It's newer to this world. It came in 5 years ago at the end of the last Great War. But something like a torch, especially to invent a torch, is a rarity, I think, with this group.
Yeah. So I look at everyone and say, there are questions I need to answer. And then I say, and I look at my aunt because I know that she's going to protest, and I say, I promise you, I will be back.
I
You
think
need to trust me on this, Auntie.
in any other situation, I think that I would protest, but we just had that moment where I dropped, right, for a second, and I think I would start.
Before
Yeah.
before he goes, once you like give permission or consent, I start ripping up bed sheets. I'm gonna turn them into a makeshift rope, and I go, Oliver, come here, young lad.
Okay, I'm not gonna make you roll for
come
that.
And
over. I put my hands up.
so as you come over and we start tying these things off, and I kind of tie them around your waist, and I make sure it's as long as I can get it. But while I do that, I'm just kind of I'm uncertain, obviously, which you would probably take to be nervousness, right? Because this is an insane situation for anyone to do, never mind a child. And then I'm going to just kind of stop. I'll just look at you a little differently than I think I've allowed myself to when your aunt is around. And I'm just going to say, I used to, people will sometimes hurt others just to have them call out as a trap for good people passing by to lure them into danger. It's the first thing. And the second, and I hold up the used to be like a holy symbol, like someone from the Cardinal's church would carry, but I've ripped the symbol off. But I lift up the beads and then I take out what looks like a shed snake skin with some etchings, some writing on it. And as I kind of wrap it around, I'm going to hold it up to you, Oliver. And this is a piece of gear I'll be using. This is a ward, which is a cultist gear. And as I'm about to hand it to you, I kind of like hold it away and I just look and say, this should prevent any outside influence. This should hopefully stop anything from getting into you or changing you. Sever any connection. And I just hold it.
And as you hold it and you're looking at me, I say, well, it's liable to get crowded in here if that's the case.
Eerie silence. Eerie
Did
silence.
I
Adults in the room.
I'm not doing anything but holding it out.
Take it.
I take. If you allow me, I'll take it from you.
All right.
And sort of. Is it something I can put over my neck, or I just put it in my pocket?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
I
can
put
put
it
it
up.
over your neck.
All right, I put it over my neck. I sort of take the beer. Well, I've heard about this kind of thing in stories, and I go over to the hole and I crouch down and I turn on my flashlight and I peer in first to see if I see anything.
You just see, I mean, with the lamplight, you can just see that it's like almost like it doesn't get bigger as you go in. It's just like a tunnel that's just your size, like an air vent almost, but just made of earth and rock. And you can see some like rat poop in there. But other than that, it's just, it goes into like almost like just into the earth basically.
And
you can't see an end to it, but it does kind of veer off, so you can't really get a straight light shine down it.
Yeah, and as I kneel down, you can see the sort of stiffness in my leg, and I get down on all fours, and I just start to crawl forward with the flashlight, sort of like crawling and then looking with the flashlight, and then crawling a little ways, looking with the flashlight.
I'd say when you get in, it's roomy enough that you can crawl with a flashlight in front of you, but it's not like you can't stand or get on your knees or anything. You're basically army crawling through this thing. So as he disappears, what are you guys feeling in the room as you're watching Oliver's feet just kind of disappear down this hole? Willow, you can see him, like you guys can see the light in front of him and his silhouette, but Willow, until he goes around that bend, if you're watching in the hole with your light, you can see him. You can kind of see him go, and the ripped up fabric is trailing behind him. Who's holding on to that? Is that you, Larkin?
I actually will. I'll say, big man, do you want to get in front of me? And we both hold on to this rope just in case.
Okay.
Never know what's down there.
while John and Larkin, while you guys are moving to kind of get into position, I want both of you to make survey rolls. Willow, you're focused. You're not. Yeah, this is beyond.
I'm just like holding a locket around my neck, and I'm kind of anxiously playing with it. But that's all I'm doing is just watching and anxiously holding the neck.
Okay.
I'll spend a drive for this.
Okay.
I spent a drive and I rolled a 1.
Oh.
Well,
Wait.
I got a 5, a mixed success.
Okay.
Chris, real quick, can I ask Chris, did you have 0 marks?
Yeah, it's 0 marks, so I believe you roll 1 die, right? If you
Right.
use a drive rather than rolling 2.
Yeah.
Oh, got it.
The drive. That's what I did. I needed to get up to 1 die, so that's what I did.
And you got a
Got
5.
it.
So Larkin got a 5 with a mixed success. While you guys are jostling to kind of get the rope in position and have John come in to help you, out of the corner of your eye, you see a shadow. Did you guys leave the door ajar, or did you close it when you came in?
Ooh, ajar. I don't close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see a figure in the doorway as you guys are jostling. What do you do?
Who sees? Oh, not me.
Like
You
somebody
guys.
just walked up and just like stopped in the doorway.
Call out, like,
I'm gonna run towards them.
All right. So when you turn to look, you see a petite girl that fitting the description of Iris, and you run. She books it as soon as you turn. She books it into the
Okay.
hallway. Is it just Larkin that's going?
I
John's
think I
holding
gotta
the rope?
hold on to the rope for all of them.
And I'll say Iris. I'll just say Iris as I start running.
Okay, she doesn't stop. She runs. You follow her out of the room. John and Willow. Larkin didn't say anything. He just ran off.
Also, I can't. I'm.
said
You
Iris.
know,
Sorry, did you say something?
I'm looking.
Iris.
Oh, okay. He did say Iris, and he took off. Willow.
I can't go. Me as a character, I can't go. Chris, however, if you would like to go, we can narratively have a moment where you give me the rope. So if you would like to go with Larkin, do that. If you want to stay here narratively, you do that.
Do you think you could handle it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like
Are you sure?
85 pounds wet. You know what I mean?
We do not have to have this conversation, baby.
Worried about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, John, what are you doing?
Yeah, yeah, Chris.
So
we don't
I
have time for a
suppose-
conversation.
Yeah. I suppose I'll run with.
Okay.
after Iris, yeah.
Larkin and John, you guys take off. You have that moment where you just kind of toss the rope down to Willow. She grabs it, and you guys book it out the door. As you leave the room, Larkin, I'm going to start with you. You run out of the scene shop, and as soon as you get outside, you hear the door close behind you. And you're all of a sudden in a darkened hallway. The stairs are gone. In the prop shop across from you, the door is ajar. And the door behind you is closed.
Any sign of Iris?
No sign of anyone. The stairs aren't even there anymore. You're almost as if you're in a different, same hallway, no exit.
In this void-like spot, with the prop store door open, I'm gonna spend my last gear, and I just kind of reach into my jacket, take out a gun, pistol,
Fair.
and I just go, like, this'll fucking help. And I'll just kind of trudge towards the prop store.
So you put your hand on the door and you push it open the rest of the way. That familiarity that you felt earlier now is becoming visual as well. You are in your prop shop from the Harlow Theater. Everything is set up as if there were a show. You have your cages that you described in the beginning, and you have the props that are kind of in a row. Hanging from the back wall over the cages is a pair of tap shoes which are the tap shoes that you had for Oliver. You hear a scuttling just kind of moving about in the room, just in like several different areas.
I step in and then I close the door behind me and lock it.
Okay. You step into the prop room, you close the door behind you and lock it. John. You run out of the scene shop and you're immediately blinded by a bright light. After a moment, your eyes adjust. You see an otherwhere searchlight pan off you and across a field of snow. The cold begins to set into your bones. You're back in the Great War. You're prone in a crater created by an explosion during the war. Around you are 2 other survivors from your platoon and a dozen dead and dismembered soldiers you once called friends. You've been trapped here for several days. You're not sure exactly how long, to be honest with you. It could be longer. In fact, you don't remember this memory at all. So I want you to go ahead and take a mark of brain.
A mark of, what was it?
Brain.
Brain, yeah.
Because this is familiar to you, but also unfamiliar at the same time. And then I'm going to jump to Oliver. Oliver, you're crawling. It seems like you're crawling quite a ways. But the rope is still behind you, and you're still attached to it, and you can still feel, somebody's at the other end. Like there's a little bit of tension on it. They're just making sure that you're still there. So you're still attached to somebody back there. But up ahead, even without the flashlight, you can see kind of what you probably were looking for. It's not a person. There's not an injured woman down here, but there's a spider web of light. A thinning in the flame.
Sorry, a spider web of light thinning in the flame?
A thinning. So like a thinning in the flame. The thinning is basically where phenomena will
Flare.
break. Flare.
Oh.
Sorry, the flare.
Got it. Okay.
So yeah, so there's a thinning in the flare. And you can see this like crackling of light that's just kind of, this blob that's kind of just existing there. And you feel, go ahead and make a survey.
Sure.
I want you to make 2 rolls actually. I want you to make a survey and I want you to make a sense roll. Let's do the survey first.
Let's see. Survey. I'm gonna add a drive to this baby.
Bye-bye.
So I got 2, 1 skill. Okay, so I got 3 dice, 1 skill. Ooh. 2 3s and a 4.
2 3s and a 4. Okay, 4. It's a mixed success.
Yeah.
You can tell that you don't know how far you were crawling, but you're savvy enough to know that you were crawling in the direction of the Harlow Theater. And let's make a sense roll for you.
Okay. Now I have nothing in sense, so in order to roll any die, I have to use one of my drive, right?
Actually,
you can roll at disadvantage. You can take 2 and roll them and take the lower without.
I was debating this in my head, and you made up my mind for you. I feel like because of your connection to this particular thinning, you realize that this is what you came through. This is what you've been looking for.
Okay.
And I'm going to jump. Sorry, you're going to say something?
No, I was just going to put my flashlight and start moving towards.
Yeah, so you're moving towards it, and I'm going to jump back to Larkin. Willow, you're still just hanging on, and you're just they ran out. They did not close the door behind them. And as far as you can hear, it seems like they gave chase up the stairs, but you don't hear anything else after that. Larkin, you turned, you locked the door, and what are you doing?
Yeah. After I lock it, I just say, I used to be really nice. But now, whatever it is, whatever you are, you're trapped in here with a monster too. So just come out.
You hear like several things scattering. And you see poking its head out from behind one of the bins in the cages. One of the sins that you eat, a little creature, just purple in color, just kind of like pokes its head out and just kind of rears at you.
I just stride towards it, and if it doesn't flinch away from me, I'll just hold my hand there.
It bites you. Go ahead and take one body.
I try and grab it. I'm
Okay.
gonna try and grab it as it bites me. I'll completely let it.
Great. You can make a for grabbing.
Just trying to be quick.
Yeah, no, I got you. You can do a move then if you're just trying to be quickness. I'd give you move or strike.
I'll do a move. Move
Okay.
Would be great, and I'm gonna spend 3 drive.
Yeah. Okay. And it just like sinks, teeth that you didn't even know that it had into your hand.
Yeah. I'll do 2 drive because it's also fucking biting me.
Is this thing a face hugger?
4.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
4.
with the 4 mixed success.
All right. You got a mixed success with a 4. You grab it. You latch onto this thing. What are you doing with it?
I think there's a part of me that's trying to logically process what sin I think it is based on the description, but the fastest way to know is to just do it. So I think as it's attached to me, biting me, I'll just bite into it and I'll try and rip it.
Okay. I don't think you have to make a roll for this. You're holding on to it, unless you want to make a roll. But you just
If it's biting me,
yeah, you're biting it and you just tear into it, and as your teeth sink into this thing, it screams, high pitched, and you feel its pain. Go ahead and tell me what the sin was. Relive it.
well, if you'll allow it, and you guide me with this, but
yeah,
there's a lot of sins that I've taken on because, the theater needed it, we needed the money, or, there were times when it was just a way to show my appreciation to Willow, to Oliver, and especially to John, just for letting me be part of their family. So one time, it would have been a sin purely just to have some money of my own, because I knew that Oliver really needed a new pair of shoes. And I think in this moment, I remember there's at least one sin that I've taken on that wasn't a job or wasn't an obligation. It was something I volunteered for, just to repay a debt. So I think in this moment, as I bite into this purple, emaciated, starving thing, I think I'm blinded by a flash of light and find myself in a crater back in the war. And I don't know if you want to jump.
I'm going to jump
to the original.
Yes, save that thought. I'm going to jump back to you, John. You're in a crater in the war. Cannon fire erupts from the horizon where the otherwhere forces are. You hear the whistle of ordnance that's coming. It's ringing louder and louder and louder. It's coming for you. You know this one's going to be close, but the whistling is so high pitched that it's almost on target. They found you. That's all you can think. They found you, they saw you, they're shooting at you. The other men that are with you, the 2 other survivors, start crawling, trying to get away from this, because they also know that this mortar is coming right in for them, right? It's unbearable now, and all the things that you didn't say or that you didn't do before this moment, they slam into you all at once. Just as the whistling death hits you, it stops and there's quiet, and a magician's top hat tumbles from the sky and lands within arm's reach of you. What do you do?
In this kind of familiar, unfamiliar nightmare, I crawl up to this top hat and I look in it and see if there's anything within it.
Inside of it, you can see, because you know where to look. You're a magician. You see bunny ears are kind of poking out of a hidden pouch. And like everybody knows this trick, right? Especially outside of the business, in the business, they know, but it's miraculous every time. As you see the bunny, you kind of glance up, and like around this crater in this war zone, there's chairs, and there's people sitting in those chairs. There's an audience, and they're all sitting around the crater, and they're all looking at you. They're all anxious to see you perform this trick.
The trick I'm performing is what John sees, I suppose, is limbs sprawling across the ground everywhere in a kind of empty crowd of men who, well, empty, but in his mind, maimed friends that he trained with, that were all young men who were whole once and now are in pieces, sitting in all the chairs out in the crowd as he does a magic trick of picking any card.
And on these cards, as you're shuffling them out, and you're looking at them, there aren't the normal numbers. They're body parts in graphic detail across these cards. Are you showing them up to the audience like pick one, or what do you think the trick would be?
Yeah, I'm calling out by name some of the lads that I knew, like
Caster
Sean
Godfrey over
and
there.
Michael, and yeah, and having them pick a card, any card, and it's pieces of bodies that probably belong to them.
So on the trick, this gentleman Caster, let's say Caster, steps up and he points at the card. You're kind of stop when you see your card, and you're flipping through them, and the Caster says stop, and you stop, and you take that card as part of your trick, and you throw it in the hat, and you put the rest of the deck to the side. I'm making up this trick as we go.
Same.
And you take the hat and you turn it upside down, and nothing falls out. The card is gone, as far as everyone knows. And you do some razzle dazzle. You say a couple jokes, and you flash that smile to these desiccated, cut up, destroyed soldiers that are in the audience now. And then you reach into the hat and turn it back upside down. And you feel the hair in there. And you get a grip on it. And you pull it out. And as you pull it out, you're holding a severed head that has the card stuck in its mouth. And what do you do with this head?
I pick out the card, look at it, and make eye contact with
as you
Caster.
Pick the card off of the head, as you go to show it, and it's a simple trick. it's ridiculous almost because I just made it, but it's ridiculous almost. But as you grab this card and your fingers kind of touch what you would feel would be the paper of the card, it actually touches the body part, which is an ear that was on the card, and you pull the ear kind of up to your mouth. And what do you do then?
I suppose crying, John puts that ear into his mouth and starts chewing.
You kind of start on the lobe, the fatty part, because most of it's just, cartilage and whatnot. And you just start nibbling, almost as like, you don't want to do this, but you're compelled by a memory that you don't have anymore. John, I want you to take a brain and a bleed mark. And let's jump back to Larkin. As you're sinking your teeth in this sin, you're recalling this sin of John's that you took from him. You're reliving it twice now, Larkin. This is the second time. So I'm going to go ahead and I want you to take 2 body, 2 brain, and 1 bleed.
I think in this moment, I also just remember a night when John, recently back from the war, broke down and told me this story. We were deep in our pints, and I think he passed out. And I just took out a scissors, took a lock of hair, and left.
Without letting him know, you stole his sin. And now you're paying the price for living it twice. And after you do, you hear more scuttling, and more sins begin to emerge the cracks of the bins and the chains and everything in this room. It's almost overwhelming how many sins you've taken on to save this theater. And they're all just kind of poking their head and like screaming at you. What are you doing, Larkin?
I think I grab the shoes from the shelf, just kind of fold them to my chest, and I'll slump down in the corner, and I'll just start reaching, grabbing, biting. Some of it, you'd be surprised, is smaller stuff. Some of it is parents who don't think that they've done their job well enough. I did that now. Some of it is words said in anger that people think turn their life in the wrong direction. Irrevocably. I said those things now. And I think as I eat more than my fill, more than my share, I just try and put off as long as possible the sin that I ate only a few short weeks ago. Because I know that one I'll enjoy. So I'll save it for last.
You don't get very far as you just are consuming and consuming and consuming. And every time you're taking various marks as you go until you eat yourself into darkness. Let's go back to John. Why not? We're in the moment here. We catch back up to you and you've graduated from here. You were hungry and you didn't remember this, but something is forcing you to recall these events. It's like the memory is growing back in your mind with every bite, and blood's just kind of all over. And similar to Larkin, as you eat, you're just consumed by it. And you also eat yourself into darkness. Oliver. Or let's go to Willow. We haven't been to Willow for a minute. You don't hear anything outside. Oliver seems like, and you haven't heard Harmony's voice in a while. Oliver still seems like he's crawling. Like moments ago, Oliver, it seemed like his pace quickened, like he started crawling faster towards something, which I think in your mind you feel like maybe he found something. Maybe he found Harmony. What are you feeling, and what are you doing in this moment alone in this room?
I am that moment in a horror film where you are begging someone not to go down the stairs. I'm thinking about that with everyone in my life as I am watching this rope, this makeshift rope, get shorter and shorter. There is an end to this rope, and it is slipping through my hands like the tether that I pulled back into Oliver. So I am holding this, thinking about John gone, thinking about Larkin gone, who is a brother to John, thinking about my ward, thinking about Oliver, thinking about Maggie, who is in the locket on my chest. And I am also feeling a crushing guilt as tears are again beginning to stream down my face, because the moment that Oliver went in, I started touching my locket because it too is a ward. And I thought about giving it to Oliver to protect him and preserve him. A picture of his mother is inside of the locket. But I selfishly kept it because I thought that maybe John might need it. And then John left. And now I am left with the thing that I could have given to protect the two people I love the most in the world. And I am alone and watching this rope unraveling in front of me like my life's thread.
And as you're thinking of Maggie, you hear her voice from behind you. Willow?
Maggie?
You turn and you see your sister. The image, the last time you saw her, the beautiful, warming smile. She's standing at the doorway. And she's looking at you. And the smile fades into confusion. And she sees the rope slipping away in your hands. She looks around the room. Willow, where's Oliver? He's supposed to be with you.
He's with me. He's right here, I promise.
Right here where?
He's right here, Maggie. I promise.
She storms across the room, and as she does, her visage of her just, it deteriorates almost a little bit, and she's clearly upset, and her skin goes a little pale as she sees this hole and she sees this rope. You let him go down there alone. He's a boy.
No, Maggie, you don't understand. He's different than he was before. He's different.
He's not. Did I choose wrong? Are you not the person that's supposed to protect him? I trusted you.
I'm so sorry, Maggie. I'm so sorry. Please.
Willow, I trusted you with my son. And as she says that, like, flesh almost like sloughs off her face. And like the injuries from her death, from being hit by a truck, just kind of start appearing. The angrier she gets, and blood, and like her eye like sags out just like a little bit as she looks at you, but beyond the damage to her face, you could see how disappointed and how upset she is with you, and she just reels back and slaps you. I will give you the opportunity to dodge this if you want to make a move check, or if you want to take it, you can take it.
Listen, I'll take it. I owe her this much. I let her son go into this hole.
Okay. This power that comes through her hand when she hits you, it was the same as the power that you felt when the room was vibrating. And as this slap hits your cheek, the whole room vibrates once more. And everything just stops. Go ahead and take 2 body and 2 bleed. Oliver, you've crawled your way to this light, this spiderweb of light, and it's captivating. It's almost like hypnotic. That's in front of you. What are you attempting to do while you're there?
Yeah, so I think the closer I get to it, I think there's actually like Oliver starts to be in physical pain, and he sort of stumbles a little bit. He's like, kid.
It's not physical pain. It's actually radiation, which in this world we call bleed. So go ahead and take 1 mark of bleed for me.
Okay. And
You don't have to. If you want to use that word, you can use the word to deflect 1 bleed.
Yeah, let's do that. I use the ward to reflect.
What does that look like when you use the ward to reflect this bleed?
I think that it's a old symbol with a snake skin, right? All right. Yeah. So I think the snake skin just like sort of disintegrates and like falls away.
Yeah, it burns. It doesn't cause any damage to you, but yeah, this snake skin just like sizzles with the same light energy that is before you, and just sizzles gone.
Yeah, and I'd say, kid, I'm sorry. I just feel like if I can figure out what's going on, if I can figure out how to control it, I can help us both.
The crackling energy is just pulsing and just kind of moving all around. As you reach out for it, it's almost like a hole in a dam or something, and just something pops a little bit, and then Black Iker just starts draining, and then another one, and Black Iker just starts draining onto the ground, and it's moving slowly at first towards you. What are you doing in this moment?
I think that I go, Auntie, pull me back, and I start like trying to shuffle backwards.
You don't have to say it twice. Willow, you were taking damage. When you hear Oliver pulls you out of whatever you're seeing. Maggie is gone, and you start pulling.
I'm pulling.
Oliver,
after me.
You're getting ripped out, baby.
As you're getting pulled backwards through this thing, you see that the light, it just starts faster and faster, and more Iker, all to like, it's like a flood, like a tidal wave of Iker just starts coming down this hole, and it's like The Shining with the blood, it's just coming down this almost slow motion as she's just pulling you back.
As she pulls me faster, I think my leg gives out for a minute, and I kind of stumble. Because I'm like, I can't keep up with her pulling. Like, I'm trying to shuffle backwards as she's pulling.
Unless your leg gets jammed, she's just pulling you back. Yeah, it's almost like
she's like dragging me.
Control.
Yeah, I sure am. And
you're in dragged backwards, and you're watching this thing. It's catching up on you. It's getting closer and closer as it's just building and building and building. Yeah.
As you drag me, all you start to hear is me screaming.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So he's just screaming, and you pull him, and as
soon as he's there, as soon as I can like see him at all, I'm reaching both of my arms in and just pulling him bodily out of it, like as hard as I can, to that I will fall back with him.
Okay, you grab you like his legs come out, and you just grab his waist, and you just jerk him out of here. It's almost like you're pulling the plug on a keg, and with him
Like in
comes
Poltergeist.
a tidal wave of black ichor that just takes both of you over, and all you see is black.
Oh my god.
All of you see is blackness. And that was the game, everybody. So the next thing you see, or each other, you're all standing on a stage. The boards feel comfortable beneath your feet. They always felt comfortable at the Harlow. Oliver, you're laying in a bed on stage left. Behind you is a backdrop painted like the room you were dying in just 2 months ago. Larkin, you find yourself on stage right. Around you is set dressing you're familiar with. You told us about it earlier. We were just there. This is the stage version of your prop shop. John and Willow, you are center stage in the makeup and costume of your act. The audience around the stage are paused in time, like mid-applause and cheering. But you do hear clapping coming from the dark surrounding the audience. Slowly, figures begin to appear in the aisles as they emerge from the darkness. The faces are familiar, but it takes you a moment to recognize them. Luis Torres, Kurt Vanderpool, Olivia Chan, and the others from the missing posters you saw on the flyers earlier that night. They're all here in the audience, clapping, like one of those slow claps. Finally, stepping down the center aisle from the shadow is someone you knew you would see, because you guessed it. Morgan Montgomery, your old friend and boss. She claps as she walks near the stage, and then she pulls a cigarette out from behind an ear. Welcome back, kids. I bet you have a lot of questions.
I'm gonna first and foremost grab John and just pull him close to me. That's the first thing. Are the rest of us all on the same stage?
You're on the same stage. You're stage center, Larkin stage right, Oliver stage left.
Do I feel okay?
You don't.
Okay.
You feel weak. And you don't know where the performance ends and the reality begins.
So I'm just riding around the bed, sweaty and feverish.
Can I ask?
Yes.
You go. No, you.
Can I just ask Morgan, who is she smiling like things are going the way she wants them to go?
Yes.
And to be clear, she said, I'm sure you have a few questions, walked up with her posse, essentially. And we're on these various states of distress and fancy dress, yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody else say what you're going to say, because then I'm going to fucking do something.
I am not in this moment focused on Morgan. I am focused on my people who I see on the stage. I am shouting out, Larkin! And then pulling John over to Oliver so that we can stand in front of Oliver from whatever is out there.
When you try to cross over to where Oliver is, there's almost like a barrier. Like you can't get there. You're stuck.
Oh, then I'm slamming against it and screaming.
There's a force there that won't let you out of your part of the stage. And
Morgan, what is this?
Morgan. Well, I go by the captain now. It seems more apt to who I really am. You've been quite trouble this evening. I felt like this was going to go easier. The others are inconsequential. It's you, Willow, that I need.
What do you need? Let me through. Let me through to Oliver. I left him before. I'm not going to leave him again. Let me through.
Are you sure that's Oliver? She looks at Oliver.
As she says that, I sort of try to push myself up off the bed and attempt to stand.
You fall.
I
Your
say,
legs don't seem to be working very well.
I
Actually, what's your move? Let's go ahead and make a roll. Let's let the dice tell the story. Make a move check.
Okay. I'm gonna make this with let's see, I guess I gotta make this with disadvantage. So
Good.
Wait. Move. I can't help.
I got
No. Separated.
Doesn't matter. I
six.
don't have anything.
I gotta take the 4. I got a mixed success. No, that's not a mixed success. Crap.
4 is a mixed success.
4 is
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So a mixed success. You stand, but your legs are very wobbly. Like you know it's going to be hard to move around. You're in that weakened state, but you are standing.
Okay. I speak to Morgan and I say, Is this because of me? Is that why you're doing this?
It's because of Willow, Professor. Now, why don't you... Well, not yet. Willow. 2 months ago, you did something. You know you did it, don't you? You opened a gateway. You let me and a couple of my friends through. But I want more. I want you to open that gateway again. And if you don't, your family is going to suffer.
No. It's not her fault. Don't listen to him, Auntie.
I was gonna pull out the handgun that I used to have in the military with me, and cock the slide back and fire at the commander, saying that you can't have Willow.
At the captain. Okay. You pull your gun out. Hold that beat for a moment. Oliver, you're dying all over again. We've kind of introduced it, but I don't think this scene would be complete without the whole picture of who you are. A flash of crawling energy brightens your face, and the shadowy visage of the professor separates from you. And he stands there, next to you. Can you describe to us what the professor looks like?
Yeah, the professor is 45, very slender, sort of Ichabod Craney. He's got shoulder-length hair, pulled back into a man bun. He's got a salt and pepper beard, and he's wearing like a long overcoat and similar to what Oliver has currently been wearing is a waistcoat and a tie. And he said, "All right, I know I messed up, but I'm not gonna let you hurt these people."
So that voice comes from Oliver, not the shadow of the professor, because he's mine. The professor's shadow grabs you by the neck, Oliver, and pushes you back into the bed. And its grip is tightening on your throat. And you're in pain, more pain than ever. And this smile that's the same color of glow that comes from Willow's eyes just appears in the darkness and just goes up into this nasty grin. And it looks back to Willow and John, specifically John, who has a gun out.
This is Oliver would say, like the real Oliver would say, "It's all right, Professor. Mom, Auntie, uncles, it's all right. gonna be okay, no matter what happens. I promise.
Go ahead and
I love you all. I love you. I love you all.
so Oliver, go ahead and take a body and a bleed for this attack that was happening on you. Going back to John, what are you doing? You have a gun out. Are you shooting at Morgan?
Yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and make
And
a.
That was 100% what I was gonna do as well.
Yeah.
That's what
Fair enough.
I was like,
Fair enough.
Y'all should
I just wanna blast him.
angel it. It's just like both of y'all.
I was thinking, does it have to be a pistol? Couldn't you have, I don't know, brought a bazooka?
It's time for the cannonball.
a grenade.
RPG, yeah.
RPG
A
action.
cannibal.
Okay.
Playing an RPG.
So go ahead and make a what's gun strike? No.
Control is for
Control.
shoot.
Yeah, control. Make a control. Larkin, are you firing as well?
Yeah, I was gonna try and gut shot this fucking captain.
Let's do it. Both of you guys make a control shot. Control shots at this
I'm gonna
captain.
You only get one
Uh,
shot.
add a drive.
You guys also have three. Just to remind you, you have 3 drives, 3 gilded dice you have not used yet because of your circle ability.
Do you get to invoke them after the roll, or do you have to invoke
Before.
them before the roll?
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, unless
Would you-
if you do a resistance and then you want to spend more drive or use one of them, you can.
Can I make a suggestion for Larkin and John? We don't know if the bullets are even going to touch anything, so we should
Kinda
just.
what I was thinking, it might rebound back at us. So
Yeah,
I'm good to not use it, but John, if you want to use one, go ahead.
The
Yeah.
way that Kevin's like face lit up just slightly.
Hey, you guys give
when
me
you
ideas.
said-
Love it.
When you said the bullets might not even hit, I swear to God, Kevin's face was here and it went.
I'm bad at poker. I'm bad at poker, everybody, but I will.
He's adding more guys.
You need to add more guys.
Oh God.
So go ahead, make
I
your.
rolled.
What do you get?
I got a 5.
Okay, mixed success.
2-5.
You got 2 5s. Okay, so mixed successes. And if they were gilded, refund any drives you use. Mixed success. You both shoot the captain, and they both hit, and they register. And the captain goes back twice, and you see bullet holes, like you shot a normal person, go into Morgan, and blood starts coming out, but the blood is black and ichorish. She didn't see that coming.
No,
The room starts vibrating in anger. Oliver,
Is this thing still choking me out?
wait.
it is choking you out.
Wait.
and
I
it's-
think I want to.
It squeezes. I want you to take another body.
No.
Another
I was just being respectful. I was just being respectful. I wanted to see something real quick for a moment. Excuse me, sir, a moment of your time. Like,
All right, Willow, you have the stage. Everything is.
I don't. Oh, I shrieked. That's
Literally.
rude. I don't know that this is strictly a question. There is this barrier that I am up against, right? It is still there. It is a barrier I cannot get through, right? I have not used any gear. And
Obviously,
I don't
bullets
know,
go through it, but you can.
Well, but okay, so I want to see if you would allow this based on just creativity and I'm
Do
a
it.
fun gal. A strange weapon. Could I invoke a strange weapon to have that thing? His smile is that occult energy. I have that inside of me. Could I have that, as my hands are here on the border, invoke strange weapon and let that just shine through my fingertips, my eyes, my mouth, and scream and push into it to try to break through this barrier?
Hell yeah, let's do it.
Fuck yeah.
Let's do a. I think this would be like sense. Is that what you were going
Yeah.
for? Yeah, I think this is tuning and channeling and just using that energy that you have inside of you to will something to happen in this.
Do that
phenomenal
voodoo that
space.
you do.
Exactly.
That dance magic dance. Okay. All right, listen. So I have 2, 1 and a gilded die, but I need to get through this barrier. So I am also going to mark 2 more of my drives, and I'm just funneling 4 into those. Yo.
So, I should tell you the stakes. So on a failure, you're not getting through. On a mixed success, you're going to get through, but it's going to damage you and hurt you somehow. On a full success, you're going to get through, and then something amazing might happen.
Well, so on my regular dice, my regular schmegular dice, I got a 1, a 2, and a 3. But on my gilded die, I got a 4. So that's a mixed success that I'm taking, and I get to... Do I get to clear all of the drives I used that time, or just one of them?
You get...
I think it's all of them.
1 back.
Was it 1? Oh.
1.
I always did it where you can use 1, so now I'm like...
roll a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you'll roll a lot during a normal game, so they don't want you to be able to always get.
Get all of it back.
Adrian.
Okay, so I spent 2, but I will get 1. I get to clear 1 of those. Okay, but it's a mixed success. So
all right.
Hit me.
So you just for will and for sheer will and fear for Oliver, this thing is hurting him. You go through and you catch fire for a moment as you go through. And just it's almost like you're passing through the flare, this flame of this wall of flame, basically, and your skin sizzles and you can smell it as it goes through. Like you know, your hair doesn't incinerate or whatever, but a little bit gets singed off.
Still be hot.
Yeah, you're still hot. Don't worry, you're not bald, even though bald can be hot as well. But you push through, and I'm gonna say go ahead and take 2 body. And 2 bleed.
Okay, now I'm gonna let you know something.
Yep.
Okay. So again, guys, this is my very first time playing Candela Obscura. I don't know how this game works, but I'm afraid that something might be happening right here.
Very much.
So first, 2 body. Now I have 1 slot left. I fill in 1, and then the 4th one becomes a scar.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
Fantastic. So that one's going to be...
Body.
I keep promises.
Hang on 1 second with the scar. What about your bleed? Did your bleed go over as well?
Well, I haven't talked about that, but yeah, that I have 1 left, which means that one is going to become a scar as well, which will put me at 3. No?
Did you not tell me that you selfishly kept something?
I have.
You have your charm.
I also have a
Your
plus
ward.
1d on move rolls against phenomenon, though.
Your ward.
I
You have
meant
your ward.
ward.
Yeah, that's my great ward. It's a
different ward.
It's a different.
It doesn't.
This is from my weird role where I have the great wards ability. Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. That'd be great. I really should be giving one of y'all this, you know.
So you are pushing through this, and you're taking 2 scars.
Yeah.
You're not. Normally, this would take you out, but it didn't. But tell me what the scars are. Tell me what happened to you as you passed through this barrier.
Okay. So the first one is going to be to my body. This is broken promise. So that's going to be the scar that I take for body because I'm trying to get back to the ward. My ward. That's so sad. There's so much of that word right now. I think that I'm going to, as I'm pushing through, I hope this doesn't fuck me. It's Candela Obscura. As I'm pushing through, I think I can feel the point of resistance, and I'm just gonna drive past that point, and one of my arms like snaps, like broken bone coming out. I'm still pushing through, but I have to like push through one side. Is that enough? With a snap.
That's great.
Fantastic. Okay.
When
that's
you
one of
pull
them.
through, I'm going to ask you a question though, and you can
Yeah.
tell me what happens. You have this compound fracture that breaks, and your hand kind of is off. When you pull through, does your hand stay with you? Is it flopping around, or did it shear off?
Oh my god.
It's up to you.
Yeah, no, I would like it to be up to you. I love giving a GM the ability to do what they would like. Give me the story.
Tell me what your bleed is.
My bleed, because again,
And I'll get back
that's
to that.
more. Wait, what?
I said I'll get back to that question you were just asking me after I know what your bleed is.
Yeah. So my bleed is going to. I think this time. Can I take? Oh God, it's gonna be horrible though. It has to be something that I could continue
Do it.
being an existing human afterwards. Because I like funneled all of that, right? All of that crazy shit. It's like a fire, we explained. So that is like burning through my body, and on my fingers, it's just leaving like deep burning, blistering pus and stuff. And through my eyes and my mouth, all of that is like gaping and bleeding. Like I am full blown burn victim. But in the places that it's leaving behind are more of that vibrant glowing. So like, at least for now, that's what that is it. And I'm going to call that Cinder and Ash.
Cinder and Ash. Okay. So going back to the other question, I feel that your hand doesn't make it through. The force of just getting yourself through when it breaks your hand backwards, it just rips the skin all the way down your arm as it just gets thinner and thinner and thinner until it breaks, and your hand is left, and you just have a bone protruding. And the burn, as it singes your flesh and just gives you third-degree burns all over, it's almost like it just just compacts into an energy that replaces your hand with fire.
Oh, so good.
And you're not burned anymore. As you make it through, after you get through this, you don't have those third-degree burns anymore. You look the same, except your eyes, your hand are complete fire. You don't have normal eyes anymore.
Yes,
And
love it.
what's your first thing that you do once you get through this wall?
I'm ripping that motherfucker off of my son.
Go ahead and make.
My son.
Ah!
Go ahead and make a strike.
Weasley. A strike.
I don't know if this is your.
Did you change your scores, by the way, for those two?
Oh
scores?
yeah, very much so.
Well,
So when you take a scar, you'll
Decrease.
add one, subtract
The-
one, basically.
So you
Add
can
one.
decrease. So for body, you would decrease your body by 1 if you have any.
oh,
I don't know what happens if you don't have any.
I do have them.
Okay, and then you can increase something else.
Wait, decrease
So,
my body
yeah,
by 1. What?
Not body. Body's the mark that you.
Nerve.
Yeah, but based on what you did, like you came through this and it was very physical. So I feel like with your body mark, something physical is going to change within you. Maybe it's your move that goes up because you pushed through here.
Well, I'd honestly.
Maybe
So
it's-
here's the thing. This is a little fun thing about me, right? I have a Willow like I said, she's got like a nose that has been clearly broken. She did not grow up in a great situation. She always has points in nerve. She has 1 in strike and 1 in control from go.
Right.
So I would like to, with the rage, she also has an anger issue that we have not talked about. Do I get 2 things that I could add? Could I
So
put
one
them
of them
both
is
in
going to be
strike?
from the body mark,
Got
and
it.
then one of
Got
them
it.
will be from the bleed mark. So with the body mark, it sounds like you're gonna up strike. So it'll also reduce. So if you're putting a point in strike, you're taking it away from something else.
Control.
Okay.
Which makes sense. I'm out of control. Like this is
Love it.
it is not there anymore.
That's fantastic. Okay.
I
and
had
then,
that to get it to be the getaway driver, but it's out now.
and for the bleed mark, how does that affect you?
I'm going to add 1 to focus, the thing that was empty, for remembering, because I think that this is something I will not break my promise again. Like, I had forgotten what it meant to be a good sister. And I'm going to take 1 away from my ability to survey.
And where's that ability going to go? What are you upping?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't need to take 1 away from survey. I'm gonna go full sense instead. Great. So I have max sense. It's gilded. I'm a striking sensing being.
So I feel you're striking this this phenomena that's holding Oliver. So Shadow Professor, as we call it. So go ahead and make your roll.
Okay. So I only have 2.
You also have these 3 gilded dice over here, just sitting here.
I'm gonna actually help her because I think that
you're getting choked out.
Well, yeah, and I think that I'm trying to fight in my weakened state, and I think that Oliver is the real Oliver is fucking furious and wants to protect his auntie. So I think he's gonna try to claw at this shadow, like, sort of flail around, trying to make it harder for him to hold him at least.
Oliver, let me just say, Oliver, in this moment when all this has happened and it's like to the extreme, you realize that the real professor, is still within you. You still have all of his capacity within you. This is something else. So if the professor has any kind of abilities, they're available to you.
Yeah, I mean,
but you're helping.
Yeah, I'm just trying to help her. Yeah, I don't have any abilities.
Let's do it. Strike.
To give a nerve drive.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this is definitely high stakes.
Yep.
Oh wait,
not necessarily for you, but for Oliver.
Sorry, I can't help because I don't have any drive in there. Never mind.
Will you allow? I am a resource hoarder, but would you allow me to use one of the gilded dice?
This is to save your kid, right?
Yeah.
Nah, let's save him for something else.
Thank you. I would like to use
Okay.
all of the gilded.
You're using one of the circle builded.
One of the gilded dice, and you're gonna roll that one, right?
All right.
Could I reactionarily teleport? Because that is my ability. I don't know how reactions work in this game.
What? You just throw that out now that you
I know. I was waiting for it to come up. I was waiting for it to be more of a surprise. No, because you just shot Morgan and she's reacted. This is her reaction to that.
Got it.
So this is all Willow.
So you're rolling the gilded die, right?
No, you can roll.
I just rolling it? Okay.
Roll
all
it all.
right.
Just
then I have my 2 regular schmegulars and I have 1 gilded.
Great.
All right, okay. I'm crying. I'm a bitch on fire. I'll explain what it looks like after we roll.
Can't wait.
I'm sorry, that was a scream. Now listen, the gilded die was not good. It was not good. That one was a 1, but I have a 6 on my regular
full success.
Schmegular. I am the strange weapon, bitch.
How do you end this creature's existence?
I am going to that arm that is now just fire as he's choking Oliver. And Oliver, what you give to me is that same look that we exchanged that night that told me your time was over and told me to make peace with it. This time, the look that you give me, because you and the professor are merged. Oliver may be kind and patient and ready to go on. The professor is not. his look tells me to fight.
Yeah.
I'm going to take that blazing arm and reach through the chest from behind of the creature and just lift him up, searing him, and then hurl it at Morgan.
As you do, you reach into this thing with your flaming arm, and it comes through, and Oliver, you kind of see this flaming hand come through the other side that's like close to you, but not burning you at all. And then Willow, you pull this creature back, the strength of a guardian in times of need, and you pull this thing up, and it starts to flame, like it starts to catch fire. And as you throw it towards Morgan, it just ashes. And ashes just spill out all over the stage and into the barriers or whatnot. And in this moment, let's jump back to John and Larkin to see what their reactions are. You guys have just witnessed all of this within like the same couple moments. Morgan is kind of, down to one knee from the two shots. The stage and everything is just rumbling from her anger. What are you guys doing in this moment?
Press on, keep kicking its ass, right?
I think we charge. Like, if we can't make it out of this area, if there's still a force field blocking us, we can keep shooting. But if we can move now because of what Willow has done, then I would definitely want to charge towards the group.
You haven't tried to move yet.
I try and charge towards all of the baddies.
Okay. As you look up at the baddies, you notice that there are two of them are gone. Like they're just kind of like ash is just kind of floating to where they were. But the rest of them, there's still 4 more that are still kind of scattered around. And you're trying to run off the stage?
I want to run for Morgan. I want to go for the main person who's doing the talking.
And John, what are you doing?
Listen, I'm so sorry. I was chill before, and it almost fucked me. Because of my critical success as the last thing, could I also have ripped the locket off of my neck, screamed, John, and thrown it to him to give him that ward? Okay.
I'll do it. You got a full success. Sure.
All right, great.
You guys,
meanwhile,
all, so this is all happening. This is all happening kind of before you guys move. She yells John and throws the locket. You notice the locket passes to where the barrier once was. And John, you catch it. I'm not going to make you roll. You catch it. It's cool. You just catch it. It kind of wraps around your hand.
John Blackstone, of course he catches it.
Right?
It's all part of the act.
So you know that the barrier is defeated at this point. Well, whatever Willow did passing through incinerated this barrier.
And with that lock, I'll look at my friend and we'll both go after Morgan.
Morgan's charge. Okay, so you guys are both charging Morgan. Are you just running at her, or what are you doing? Give me an end action.
Strike.
How close? Okay, so we can get to her. Great.
You can get to her.
I'm the distraction. In my mind, there's a soldier who's hopefully going to be able to get his family out of here. So I just charge her, really big, like waving my arms, and I'm gonna try and leap onto her.
Okay.
But I don't have much hope for that.
Let's go. If you're leaping onto her, it's probably some kind of strike, but I say move. Let's go for move.
Okay.
Move or strike. I'll give you the option.
Go. 2 dice. I'll do move. I navigate my way into her face. That's 6.
6, full success. Okay, you launch. She's down, on one knee when she sees that you guys are coming through the barrier and you're off the stage and out of her trap or her prison. She stands up, but like the moment she gets to full stand, you're on top of her. Boom! You knock her over with a full success. I feel like because John's coming too and you're doing this for him, you not only grab her, but you do like a little turtle maneuver and you roll on your back to open her up to John.
I shrimp my legs so that when I turn, she's exposed.
Love it. John, what are you doing? He's setting you up.
full force, I'll bear down and just lumber into her and strike her as hard as possible.
So not with the gun,
with
with
the
your
gun.
hands.
No,
Yeah, my
hit her with
strike
the
stack is my I'll hit
Pistol
him with
whip
the
her.
gun.
You can pistol whip her, but you're doing a strike, not a control. Okay.
Yeah, it is my strongest trait.
Go ahead and make the strike. I will say, because Larkin is there, if you fail, you're gonna hit him. On a mixed success, you might not hit him as bad. But he's a big lumbering dude that's just, holding this smaller woman.
We gotta get a critical. We
so
gotta get
full
a critical.
success, and on a full success, well, let's just go. Let's see what you do. I'll tell you if you get
Chris, you get another die because of my ward against phenomena.
Oh.
That's what that does.
I'm also.
Do
I
you
don't
want
know.
one of those
I don't
golden ones?
know if this is in Candela, but I'm the GM here, so I can do whatever I want. Because Larkin's holding him, I'm gonna give you a free D6.
And we still have gilded
Oh.
dice. We still have extra in the
Did we
pool.
use another gilded?
Yeah, use it. We gotta get
Let's
this
do
job
big
done.
hits. How many are you up to?
6
Oh, there
times.
it goes.
You can only have some
Gilded.
Okay. So you can only have 6. So you're rolling the max that you can roll in this game. Let's see what you do to Morgan. She didn't even get out her plot points. So let's see what
gilded.
happens.
Let's go.
What you got a 6?
The 6 on the gilded die.
Is that the only 6? Did you have any other 6s?
It's the only 6 though.
Okay. That's a full success. It's good. It's not a critical, but it's a full success. You wail on her. She's still there. I'm not giving you. She's not gone yet. But describe how you're. Like, what's inside of John when he unleashes this attack on her? Like, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? And how do you do this?
Yeah, when Wilhelmina was talking about when acts of violence happen, there's a bit of a kind of scar on that moment in time, in that place, in that being. So whenever John devolves back into his kind of violent nature that he is less aware of because of his friend taking a lot of the sin, just kind of animalistic, kind of like that cannibalistic moment he had in the winter where I lose control a little bit and swing as hard as possible.
You swing it as hard as possible, and you hit her in the face. Not because I don't think there was any reason other than the fact that this creature, this phenomenon, whatever this thing is, took a friend of yours, Morgan. You don't want to look at your friend's face anymore. So you just start pounding on it and pounding on it and pounding on it. Blood and teeth, and just you've broken her nose as you're hitting her on this. Willow and Oliver, you're back to your senses now. You can move around. Both of you see, as he hits her, 2 of the 4 other people in the audience poof into ashes.
I think I would look around and make sure I understood the connection, like using what I know of physics and mathematics to sort of calculate probabilities or whatever to allow him I want to basically like help him out, because I can't really do much physically, even if
I
I'm
just throw you at him.
Yeah, you're gonna have to toss me.
One of those little cowboy guns.
Yeah, well, even that, like, even if I had a gun, it was like I can't.
Little cowboy gun.
So I basically just want to use my great intellect and my worldly knowledge to basically Sherlock Holmes this shit and be like, my calculations have determined that we need to hit her this many more times or whatever to make the rest of to put her down for good.
How best to kill her.
Yeah.
You figure out that these other entities, this other phenomena in the room, are her power. and you say it out to everyone so everyone knows that you have basically 2 left to deal with, to worry about.
Disable the ads was it all along.
Right.
Like,
You didn't have ad blocker.
Press Control Alt Delete.
So, as you're smashing Morgan's face apart, she's just laughing.
Gross.
And teeth and everything are just coming apart. And she takes it, and all of a sudden the vibration is too much, and the theater starts cracking and coming apart, and roof tiles start falling down, and the balcony, like one of the pillars, kind of collapses, and the audience, the second level, just starts collapsing over to where like the bar area was and whatnot. And these other phenomena, these 2 other phenomena in the area, rush towards you guys to help Morgan as all this chaos is happening. The stage, things are falling apart like all around you. They're coming towards you guys. Morgan's just laughing. I'll give everybody another something. Let's start with let's just start with the boys, because they're in the thick of it. Unless Oliver or Willow want to do something.
Well, and anything they do to her, my action was to help give them an extra die, if that's, you know what I mean.
Gotcha.
But
Actually, like,
and
finish
as
it off.
part of that, we could be running forward, because especially as the theater is crumbling, listen, I know how this goes. We're closing ranks, okay? So me and Oliver are running closer in, and yeah.
Gotcha. You're
That's
closing
it.
ranks. You're getting closer to them as they're happening. Larkin and John, same thing, or are you doing anything different?
I'm just gonna let John. Do his thing, I think, to start with.
Try welling on it one more time.
But I'm gonna save that for someone else.
I'm giving you 1 drive.
1 extra drive there.
Oh no, I keep forgetting I can't. Never mind. I lost my.
This is a nerve.
Yeah, I lost my nerve when I
Got
died.
any
All right,
special skills?
I'll use one of my drives.
I can read good.
Do we have those
You still have the
drives
plus
left
1
over?
for me. You still have the plus 1 for me.
Who's going? John, you're making an attack?
Yeah, so I'll make a strike attack. I got a 4 die here.
We have 1 more die, but should we use it or should we save it? I guess this could be the ending blow on Morgan, but man, I'm a resource hoarder, I like to
Say we save it.
I save it for the
I got a
last
resistance,
minute.
so
Okay. Saving it.
and I got a 6.
6. Okay.
Awesome.
You're punching and slamming. Describe to me how you end Morgan's existence. Yeah, more of the same. I feel like you're angrier, so give me that.
Yeah, kind of like a Hulk and Loki kind of moment at
Nice.
him kind of taunting, trying to just take my family from me. I kind of in a rage just keep pounding on Morgan until he essentially is just in the mush.
So you pound, and you're just like, when there's no more face, you're pounding chest, and when there's no more chest, you're punching every other little bit as you're just turning this person into mush, basically, and you're ending. And Larkin, this stuff is just
I just think there's ichor. I think there's
Yeah.
ichor dripping all over my face.
ichor and bleed is coming all over you. So I'm gonna give you 2 bleed.
Okay.
You're just attacking. I feel like
That is a scar for me.
okay. So do you go out then?
That's up to you. Yeah, I mean, I hit 4.
Yeah.
That's 4 marks.
Okay. So Larkin, John, the thing that snaps you out of your rage is that you see Larkin's eyes just kind of roll back in his head, and his eyes close, and he just kind of slumps, and his arms that were holding Morgan just kind of slump to the side. He's unconscious. He's out right now. At this same time, Willow and Oliver, you reach John.
No.
This whole place is coming down. The last 2 entities that were running at you just evaporate as they get closer and just ashes.
So I'm gonna use my gear's research materials.
Okay.
Laboratory equipment, and I'm going to pull out a syringe and a small vial of something.
Adrenaline.
Yeah, adrenaline would be good. And I'm gonna like Pulp Fiction him in the chest and just like I've done this 1,000 times, and I'm gonna kind of
weird to the rest of you that he even has a syringe. Like, who gave a child a syringe? But he pulls the syringe out and he jams it right into the heart of Larkin, and Larkin immediately, you snap out. Yes.
Wait!
And you have a syringe. You have a syringe hanging out of your chest.
I pull the syringe and I go,
okay.
We'll have none of that now. We're all going home together.
Okay, this place is coming down. So if you guys are going home, let's go.
Okay. I just is it? Do I have to? I have a bleed containment vial because I noticed that there's illumination questions and keys. Can I scoop up a little of that ichor into a little vial and pop it as we're running?
I would say, due to your inexperience.
Oh, it's on you. It's fine.
Due to your inexperience, you can get some stuff later, whatnot.
That's fine. We're running.
Okay, so you guys are running. Where are you running?
Grab Ollie and shelter him in my body. I'm gonna do it because I have a high move, and if I have to, I can throw him ahead of me.
Okay, and I take it you guys are running for the door.
We're running for the door.
Yeah.
Okay, you're running for the door as the Harlow all around you is coming down and falling apart. As you go through the double doors, you're standing in the basement of the Mystic Cabaret. It's eerily quiet. You don't hear anything upstairs. And as you slowly, as you walk out of the room and continue up the stairs, the floors are littered and dirty. You get to the stage, the backstage area, and the stage curtains are tattered and threadbare. Vermin scurrying around. It's a ghost town. Nobody's here. It's as if the Mystic is just an abandoned theater left to rot. You eventually make your way through the audience and past the bar and outside. A boy, a caller, the one you saw before, is across the street from you, and he hollers to anyone that'll listen. Come one, come all, there's something for the Mystic for everyone. Like music? Well, do we have a show for you? Do you like comedy? Well, you'll never laugh harder. Like spectacle and mysticism? Then the Mystic is the place for quality entertainment.
Are we in a fucking Groundhog's Day? Is that what
you turn back from where you came, and you find yourself standing in light rain before a weathered fence. Though it's hidden from sight to the average passerby, behind the fence is the now empty lot that used to be the Harlow Theater. As this deja vu sets in, you hear a snort of laughter across the street. You don't need to look, but if you do, you'll see a woman fitting the description of Harmony Thompson exiting the Mystic arm in arm with a petite woman. They carry on down the street, safe and sound and alive. And this will bring a close to assignment number 1132, the case of the Mystic Cabaret. Congratulations, investigators. You survived.
Well, I need a fucking drink.
That was gnarly.
I definitely like nudge John so that he'll give me his sunglasses to cover my laser vision that I have now.
Everything that happened to you, you're dirty. This is not a Groundhog Day situation. You didn't revert back to it, but you're still dirty. Your eyes are on fire. Your hand is on fire. Peculiarly enough, you can fit a glove over it, and it seems to work fine.
Beautiful. Love it. I'm
Oh,
just
look
a different bitch, you know? Who
I'm a
is
little
she?
confused.
Well, tell me right now, just to give like a little end to your story. If you want to go through and just say like a little bit about your character and what they're feeling and what how it converse, this is the moment.
Can I ask a question first?
Yeah.
I just want to confirm. So we were in the spooky zone, and then believing we were in the Mystic Theater. Then we walked out, and the place was abandoned, long abandoned, unused. We went outside, and we were actually coming out of the Harlow Theater.
Yes, but the Harlow is not there anymore. You basically came back into the moment.
It was
Yeah.
a
We went through
Scooby-Doo
a portal
doors.
back into the same moment of the Harlow thinning.
Oh,
But we
It's like-
escaped, so we're back in the regular moment. But because of what we did, there was no one to possess Harmony.
got it. So we were essentially just across the street.
Yes.
A few months ago.
Okay.
But
The
so-
best
so
the best
basically
stories are the ones you have to explain.
Yeah, the moment of that light that happened at the event effectively was a moment frozen in time where all of these entities were creeping into the world and trying to expand again. They have other sources. We definitely were like back in that alternate little pocket dimension for a second. It doesn't matter where we entered or where we stepped out. The pocket dimension is where we were.
Correct.
Well, I think then that Oliver.
Head to se-
Patient.
You froze.
Can you hear me?
You can now.
Yeah, yeah.
I think we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
He goes, well, that was fascinating, kind of sarcastically. And then he turns to the group and he goes, my name is Victor. Oliver's helping me. And if I can, I'd like to help him. If you will allow it.
I'm gonna look to John and then back down, and I'm gonna lean. I'm going to, and again, eyes on fire, arm on fire. I'm going to kneel down, one knee on the ground, and pull his jacket tighter around him and say, "It's cold outside. Here, tuck this away. I hate it when you. Here, let me get that for you."
Auntie, come on.
I'm gonna, just as well as moments happening, Mark's gonna just take a few steps down the street and kind of like bend over and catch his breath.
I take my jacket off, place it over Wilhelmina. Happy that, we all made it out, and go put my hand on Larkin, knowing now what he's done for me that I didn't know before with the sin eating.
I just kind of nod to you, and I look over at Oliver, and I go, Victor, you said.
Yeah, but you can just call me Oliver. I mean, it's his body. I'm just here temporarily. I hope.
Can I'm gonna like just flash you that I have a flask of something in my jacket, and I'm gonna go. Let me thank him for sticking me with whatever he stuck me. And I'm just gonna take a few steps off with you, and I'm gonna hand you the flask, and I'm just gonna say quietly, if I do appreciate what you did for me, getting me out of there, back on my feet. It's not right what you're doing. So, if you'll allow it, I have a knack for taking things into me. If you wanted an older, stronger body, I'm going to bring Oliver back.
Honestly, I don't know. I don't think so. You see, I can't remember. That's why I'm here. I think I did something. I think I did something bad, and I need to fix it so that I can rest. And as I came hurtling through, I saw Oliver and how frail and how weak he was, and I'm sorry, but I had to do something, or else both of us were gonna. And then he'd open the flask and take like a swig like a 50-year-old sailor, and then he'd hand it back,
Well,
hold it back out to you.
I'll take it and I'll close it and put it away, and I'll just say, well, listen, Victor, if there's any chance we can get Oliver back to them, I'll help you do it. But if at the end of this you remember what you did and it's your fault he's dead, I'm gonna fucking eat you. Good lad. And I'm just gonna pat on him, and I will never call this person Oliver. And I will make nice as best I can, but in my mind, this is just another person like the people we just defeated.
I shout after him. I go, I'm a little bony.
And on that note, let's bring the game to an end. Thank you all for playing. Very special thank you to Rachel and Chris, or Faint Divinities, friends, for joining in here and teaching us how to play online for once. So I appreciate you guys for that. Thank you very much. And
for having us.
Thank you so much. It was so fun and traumatizing.
I can't wait to play. Can't wait to play some Daggerheart with you guys as well.
Yeah.
Light affair. So your first Candela game, you're welcome to the darkness, I guess.
So freaking fun. So scary. I feel like you can see that Chris and I were used to playing adventure games. You know, we were like, "Fuck it, fight them."
Yeah, I've been a tooth fairy in our last campaign, so this was a change of pace, but a fun one.
So,
And as always,
You guys are great.
yeah, very great. If you guys want to say anything, I was just going to bring us out of it. So thank you, Mo
Follow
and
Faint
Sean.
Divinities. Follow the Faint Divinities on Instagram. Find them on Twitch, YouTube,
Or
watch
wherever
their
it's going to
stuff,
end up.
Daggerheart.
Yeah, wherever it's going to end up. But yes, follow us all the information's out there. It'll be on the screen and whatnot. Thank you, Mo and Sean, for joining in on this. I appreciate you guys as always. Once again, we are RolePlay GrabBag. Thank you, all the viewers, for watching us. We appreciate it, and we hope you guys had fun. See ya. Bye.
Happy
Thank you.
spookies. Bye.
Comments and subscribe.
Bye.